Hello and happy Thursday. I am sitting here at home taking a second rest day and trying really hard not to be emotionally and mentally upset about it. And so I thought I would just kind of talk about where I'm at and what's going on and um, kind of speak to those people who struggle with the do I work out or do I not work out mentality because I have been there. I've been there since I started CrossFit, um, and I'm still there, but I have a little helper now, my Whoop. I love my Whoop. I would say it's a love-hate relationship because sometimes it tells me things I don't like, but it really is a love relationship. There was a time when I had been doing CrossFit for a little bit where I started doing two-a-days and I started training for hours upon hours upon hours. And eventually it really wore my body out. And I started getting overuse injuries and I started just getting flat out injuries. And like my mood was awful, like all of the signs and symptoms of fatigue. And I would do things like take a day off here and there, or try and eat more, or try and eat more protein, or try and sleep a little bit more. Like the things I knew I was supposed to do, but for whatever reason, they weren't working. And I just kept like devolving. I just, I couldn't perform. So that was a while ago. That was years ago. And then about 3 years ago, I got Whoop because of a coach I worked for. She loved it, and a lot of people in my gym were wearing them, and I jumped on the bandwagon, and I have never looked back. So, what does that have to do with today? Well, because of Whoop, I know that my recovery is at 35%. So when you use Whoop, it gives you a green, a yellow, and a red recovery. And red, which is the stop, go back to bed, it starts at 33%. So 33% and below is red. Yesterday, I was at 25%. So it was bright red yesterday. And then I'm only slightly above red today. So yesterday was a rest day and I was in bad shape. I had chills, headache. I think I might be fighting a sickness. I'm not completely sure. There is no fever. And the chills and the body aches, they come and they go. So I don't know if I'm fighting something off or if I'm just super fatigued. I played hard on Monday with my Olympic lifting, and then I taught a class as well on Monday morning. And then Tuesday I woke up early to catch a spin class. I'm certifying in spin. And I also did a hard ride Thursday evening from 7 to 9-ish, and I ended up getting to bed at 10:30, which is late for me because I wake up early. So anyway, I played hard Monday and Tuesday, and then Wednesday was bright red, and then today I'm just kind of like orange. It's not really a color on Whoop, but it's just barely above red. And so I've elected to take another day because I know historically if I'm that close to red, if I push it, I'll end up red the next day. The other thing that Whoop tracks for me and that I take into account when I'm making decisions about what I'm going to do on a given day is it keeps track of my menstrual cycle. And right now, I'm in my late luteal, which is the worst part of the menstruation cycle. Um, it is the PMS part. So I'm due to start my period within a week. And there's a lot of energy that goes into preparing the body for menstruation, right? A lot of energy has gone towards that egg. A lot of energy has gone to increasing the padding in the uterus. And It's a real thing. I think in our male-dominated society, the PMSing gets made fun of a lot. And I've met during my life a lot of people who don't even really think it's a thing. Ladies, I'm here to tell you it's a thing. You're not crazy. You're not making stuff up. You're not in your head. It's real. And Whoop is what really cemented that for me. Like, I can see my recoveries tank as soon as I hit late luteal. And I can see that my ability to take on strain tanks. Activity isn't during a different part of my menstrual cycle would not tax me during the late luteal. Like, I can't even do them. Okay, without landing in the red or with, in really low yellow. It's real. And we have, thanks to Whoop, a lot of data to support that. So that's another thing I take into consideration and that I took into consideration today is that I was red yesterday, I'm low yellow today, I'm in my late luteal. I know what that means for my body. So I'm going to elect to take another rest day. And that's just one of the many advantages of having a Whoop. And that is why I am trying to get this new kind of fitness up and running. It's a type of fitness that doesn't rely on weighing and measuring, that doesn't care about your body fat percentage. It cares about how healthy you actually are. And I use Whoop to do it. So I am looking for women who are willing to have a Whoop. They're $30 a month if you decide to go monthly, or they're like, I think $250 flat or right around there. If you decide to pay everything up front, they are HSA and FSA eligible, and they give me insight as to how you are really doing. And it allows me to actually tailor your programming to you on any given day. It takes a lot of the guesswork out. Does it eliminate guesswork? No. Fitness will always be trial and error, but it gets me a lot closer. And the other thing it does that I love and that changed my life was that it elicits body positive behaviors. If you think about how you feel, if you've ever been on a diet before, and I'm going to guess most of you have, I've been on tons of them. If you ever want to talk about it, like, grab coffee, let's go. But when you're on a diet or when you're on a traditional fitness program, you weigh in, the scale either hasn't budged or it's gone up. It, number one, ruins your day. And number two, how do we generally tend to respond? With further restricting our calories or with over-exercising, not really having any understanding of what's happening physiologically, not knowing why the weight has gone up or why the weight hasn't budged. Things have improved in recent years with things like InBody and Staiku, but we're still measuring the wrong things. And there are things that elicit body negative behaviors. They create abusive behaviors towards your body, which does not help the situation. They're also psychologically damaging. I will never forget coaching a young woman. She slayed her workout. She PR'd her deadlift by like 25 pounds. Absolutely murdered it. Then she went and she got on the InBody, and her body fat had gone down, which is great. Her muscle had gone up, which is great. But it was a net zero. So her weight hadn't changed, and it ruined her day. All of that stuff that she had accomplished, and it ruined her day. That is what we avoid when we look at information from Whoop. When we look at information at Whoop, we're like, wow, Why is my heart rate variability going down? What did I do yesterday that might be causing my body to feel stressed out? Maybe it was sleep. Maybe I ate too much sugar. Maybe I had a drink. Or maybe I just had a really stressful day. I have a sick kid, or I had a stressful day at work. And all of that stuff, by the way, is actually measured by Whoop. We can figure out how much sugar is too much sugar. We can figure out how many carbs are too many carbs. We can figure out how much protein your body responds positively to, and it monitors daily stress. We can look back at your stress readings. We can, number one, see them in real time. And number two, we can look back retroactively and see how much stress you are under. For me, I know that if I have a daily stress reading of 6 or above, I will see a decrease in my HRV the next day, which will affect my recovery. Like, this tool is so amazing. And when you see stuff like that, you start to engage in body positive behaviors. You want to improve your sleep. Like, you start to become concerned with your recovery and what you can do to take better care of your body instead of being obsessed with your fat and doing things that are negative towards your body. So that's another reason. That's actually the main reason I use Whoop. Health at any size is a thing. It is. And it needs to be acknowledged. It can be monitored now on a daily basis with a wearable. I prefer Whoop. So if you are interested in exploring Whoop, go to their website, poke around. I think it's whoop.com. Super easy. Check it out. If you want to talk more about Whoop, please feel free to contact me. If you're interested in trying out this new type of fitness, like, I would love to bring you on board. It's $100 a month right now, and it really is more of a research project than anything. I would love to be able to work with a group of women on this new kind of fitness measurement and see where we get. I want to see how healthy I can get you, both physically and mentally, using Whoop, because I know what it's done for me. Like, there's precedent. Right now, I have an anecdote, and I would love to be able to have anecdotes and then one day turn that into data and maybe really change the face of fitness, especially for women. So, I'm going to continue kind of talking to you about what I'm seeing on my Whoop every day and about the decisions I'm making. And I am going to continue to invite you to join me on this journey and in this mission to make fitness a healthy place for women of all sizes. Okay, I've got stuff to do. I'll talk to you later.